Okay, but today we just go through 3 access modifier: private, public, and default. Okay, protected we're going to cover in the future when we go through the topic called inheritance. Okay, right? So these 3, right? Now look at my codes here. I declare a numbers. Okay, one class called a numbers. Inside there is an int a, and this int a I did not put anything in front here. Meaning to say I did not put the private keywords. I did not put what else? I did not put a public keyword. I did not put the private keywords, right? It's leave it by default. Okay, this is a default access modifier. Okay, for default access modifier, you are allowed to access the data outside the class. Can you get that? There's a in here there is a 2 different classes, right? Okay, one is called a number. You can access inside the class for this A. Okay, you can try to access the A inside the class itself, or you can try to access this A outside the class, right? N is a number. Okay, this number number.a referring to this. Clear? You can do the access outside the class now. Now, any different in, let's say I put it in a public here. Once you apply the public, anything happen in here? You still get this result, right? Print dot 0. Okay, here I did not assign anything. If I assign 100, you're going to get this number, print out 100 this case. Okay, if I cancel the public, will you get the same results? Run it. I still get the same result here. So what is the difference between public and no public? Now look at your table from here. If this is a public, or maybe the description here, public class data or method is visible to any classes in any package. Default means that is on the folder itself. Same package. Now what is mean by package in here? Look at your project folder. Every time we do the classes, we put under the same package, right? This is what we call a default package. Okay, so you can see these 2 files is under the same package, that means the same folder. But now I'm going to create a new folder in here, package. Package in Java means that folder. So I create this folder name, maybe I call it as an A. Okay, package A name. See this one? Now I move number, this number, my numbers, this is a 1, my numbers. I try to move this my number to the folder called A. Okay, I try to move it here. Okay, now when this class is moving to the different folder, in a test program, immediately you can see there's an error brought out from here. Okay, right? Once I move it to here, the test number, there is an error, right? That means that in the test number, I cannot access to A anymore. See this? Can get that? This is due to the default access modifier can only access within the same folder itself. If you want to have a different folder, what to do? Change this one to public. So once you make it to public, means that you can access anywhere you like. Public. Okay, once you change the public, come back to here, this error is gone. See that? Can get that? So bear in mind, in the note say that default access modifier can only access within the same package, same folder. Whereas for the public, you can access in any package. Got this? Okay, so one more thing you need to also remember. This A. This A is a number, right? N is belong to the class called numbers, right? That is a number is inside the different package, right? How are you going to solve this issue? This is a compilation error because we move it into different package already. We need to import, right? Remember these keywords? Import Java util, that means that you get the package into your project and use it. Yep, import. Or maybe you can do it this way, right click, fix import, you're going to say that this file for you. Why A.number? A is referred to this package name A. A numbers referring to the file names. Alright, just now I say you can try to use an asterisk, right? When you need to use an asterisk, in case there isn't multiple files inside the package A. Okay, get that? In case there's a multiple file, you don't want to import one by one, So what you can do, you can just put an asterisk in here. Clear? Okay, right? Okay, or maybe in small specific, I just want to import this file only. So I say a dot numbers, right? Then under the package here, how you're going to put in? How I'm going to put in? I want my numbers inside the package called A, so you have to put this words on package A. If you didn't put the package A, compiler is complaining here. See this one? Okay, get that? Compiler is complaining because you put it inside the package. Unless you put it in the default, then you don't need to mention the keyword called package. Okay, right? This part, right? Okay, right? Now, same thing happen every time you create a project. I ask you to uncheck this one, right? Or maybe in your practical, you uncheck this one, right? Okay, right? This is because if you did not uncheck, it will going to create a package for you. This package name is called Java Application Tree. So that's just example. So once when I create, you can see from the example here, the class file is created under this package. If you remove, okay, if you remove this package keywords here, it will cause an error. Follow? Now you know why there is an error in here. So remember, if there is an error happen in the top, say the incorrect package, meaning to say you need to put these keywords, or you can try to put this in outside the package, make it under the default package, then you don't need to mention the package name anymore. Okay, right? Okay, so delete. Okay, close up. Clear this part? Okay, number I now put it as a public, means that I can access anyway. Okay, then default means that only same package. Then one more in here is called a private. This private means that you can only access within the class that the variable is being declared. Okay, only within the class. So meaning to say, come to here, if I change these keywords from public to private, okay, when I change it to private, can you still access outside the class task number here? This A. You see, right? This A now it causes an error, say that you cannot access the A anymore. Follow on? Okay, that's a tree access modifier. Why we need to come up so many access modifier is to prevent the data is being misused. Okay, get that? Sometimes let's say this data, where is it? The numbers, this number. Okay, example, this data figure 100. I don't want the person to change. Okay, I do not want the person to change directly from this. If you make it to open access modifier, that means that in the test program, I can just simply change the value, right? And dot A, maybe I change it to 200 in this case. Okay, this part, if I try to make it to public, all right, this number is a fixed number. I don't want the user to change. Maybe this is your own formula. Okay, in certain company, there is a certain formula to calculate a certain value. Okay, so this number is a fixed number. I do not want them to change. So if you make it to the public, means that the person can change the number and it causes logical error in the future. Okay, get that? So to prevent this data being changed outside the class, we need to make this one to private. Follow? The first reason. Okay, this one to private, so no one can change this data anymore. Okay, you cannot access to these numbers A, you cannot print the number A anymore. Clear? Can I? So first thing, this one access modifier. Now in your notes also mention that this radius. Okay, the radius 5.2. Why I cannot assign the value 5.2 into the C1? Yeah, this C1 radius because it's a private, right? I declare this one is a private, means that you can only access within the class itself. But somehow, if you create the circle, but you do not allow the person to change the radius, it's not useful anymore. Okay, that means a class is not useful. So at least I need to provide the method in here. This method allows them to change the value. Okay, so maybe this is not applicable. You cannot direct access to the number, but I can try to use this method to set the value. Okay, get that? I set the value through the method here. And also same thing, you can also provide one more called getter to get the value out from there. Follow on? Okay, those under the predicle, I believe you should know that using these private keywords. So the example I given during my practical, delete this one. Okay, let's go back to this employee again. Okay, now this employee, I remove the text. Text you should know when to use a static value. Okay, now, can you try to set the salary outside my class employee? If I write my code in this way, can I access to salary directly? Okay, now I try to set the value. How to set the salary? I need to change the salary. Maybe I ask the user to have this one, system.out_print enter salary. So how about user enter the value, let's say negative something here. You're going to set the data, right? Okay, you ask the user to enter, user just simply key in the value, like negative value in here. So now you want to set the number here. How are you going to set? E dot salary, E dot salary equal to the number key by the user in this way, right? Can you get that? This is a way, assume the number key by the user here, you set the value from here. But what happened? Do you think that this salary is valid numbers? This is not the valid numbers, right? Okay, now salary, normally we do not allow the negative lah. Unless you work for the charity, you pay something for the company lah, you work set negative here. Okay, so now I want to protect my data here. I do not want the number to be invalid value. So how are you going to do that? Okay, come back to here. The salary, you make it to private, right? Okay, the first thing important, we try to make our data to private. So now come back to here. User are not allowed to change this number directly. Okay, get that? You are not allowed to assign the number directly to here. So how about, let's say the user key in the character input, I still need to allow to change the number, right? And get that? What happens if this is a valid number? I still need the user to change my figure for salary. So what you need to do? You can use a constructor, okay, other than constructor. You want them to change the salary, so I need to provide one method. So. Okay, using this way to set. That means that I provide one method for you to set the numbers. You want to set the number, you let me know what is the number you want to set. I help you to assign the value in here. You cannot direct access to my salary directly in here. So how to set the numbers? I cannot direct access, but I can try to go through the method called setter here, right? Set salary and pass in the numbers. Okay, I can pass in this number here. See that? Okay, right? But what happens? Same thing, error happen if a user pass in this negative data. At the end, you still get negative, right? Okay, at the end, you still get negative. How to prevent? The purpose for putting the private, we want to prevent the data, but somehow you put in the method in here, the user still can pass in negative. So how to solve this error? Yeah, you can try to add in the checking here. S, if the S, let's say less than 0, you try to prompt message. Okay, otherwise we help them to set in here. Okay, get that? Okay, this one you may try to display your own error message, or you want to throw the error back to the person. See this? So at least there is a way for you to control the data. If you make it to the public access or open up for the default access, no way for you to control. Get this? Okay, so in here we put it in private keywords and also the data method, we call it as an encapsulation. Remember these rules. Object-oriented always make all the data member as private. Do not allow outsider to come in to change data directly. Okay, encapsulation first rules. Even the question did not say it, you need to put it as a private. So in an assignment, I don't want to see everything as this way. Okay, don't repeat this one. If you did not put the private keyword in here, I will assume that you did not follow the rules or object-oriented design rules. First thing, private. Alright, then continue with the set and get methods from here. See that? Okay, in our practical, of course, we are not going to go through so particular. We just say that set methods in here. But you need to know there is a way for you to do the error checking. Got this? Okay, this is a set methods used. Then one more thing here. After you allow the user to set the number, I can set this number. However, let's say I want to print the value. There's no way for me to print value currently, right? S dot salary. I cannot get the number for salary anymore because you make it as private. Okay, you make it as a private. So what should I do? Yeah, you need to have one more call, get salary. So in here, this is a setter and getters. Okay, to insert, you can use the insert code, no issue. Insert code, now I need to get the getter, then salary. Okay, so now you get this getter over here. Follow? So assignment, I want to see the same thing. You need to have at least set and get methods. You have 5 data members, so you need to have 5 set and 5 get also. Okay. In assignment, to make it easy, you do it in this way. Just right click. Just do the right click, insert code, setter and getter, right? Okay, apply all the setter and getter, done. This one. Okay, but exam practical, you try to type in. Remember the syntax. Okay. An object cannot access to the private member. Okay, this one we mentioned just now. Once you make it as a private access modifier, like example, this Boolean data type, private access, you cannot access through outside. Okay, this is outside. This is a full class. This is another class called test. You cannot assign or you cannot access the value directly from here. Okay, so you need to through the methods. And somehow, let's say the method make it as a private. Can you access? If I make my private method change to the private access, can I access it outside the class? No, right? Private means only within the class, even though the method also. Okay, so that's why normally in this way, when you write the function, this function normally come with a public access. Why we need to put in the public access? Because we don't want to put it as a default access modifier, because sometimes you may try to come up another package, another folder. So in the another folder, maybe you want to review this class called employee. Okay, so it's better for you to put in all the public keywords. Correct? Okay, got this? Public keyword. So refer to the example given here. This is wrong because of private access. This one also wrong because as declared as a private access also. Okay. Okay, why data field to be private? Just now I answers already. You need to protect your data. You don't want the user to come in and simply change the value, and you will cause the compilation. It may cause a runtime error. Maybe if let's say the number is set to 0, you cause a runtime. Okay, or maybe it come out the illegal, invalid outputs, incorrect output in the future. Okay, so that's why you need to make it as a private here. After you make the private, the accessor are mutated. Accessor is referring to the get methods. Take notice in here. Access is a get method. Okay, mutate is a set method here. Sometimes the exam paper will say accessor, sometimes you will say getter, but you need to know these two is the same thing. Okay, the main reason we need to protect the data. Okay. Now example here also same thing. We have a circle to define as a private radius. Okay. Constructors define public set radius. Okay, this one. No problem, right? This part. Try to look at this code. Any issue? Assessor mutator. Assessor referring to which method is an assessor? Assessor. Which method here refer to the assessor? Assess. Get. Where is the get? There's no get methods here, right? Get radius color. This is a set. Yeah. Get radius here. This one refer to the assessor. Then this one referring to mutator. Set method is a mutator. This one is a get method. So you cannot use this method anymore in the future. I don't want to see this in the assignment also. Don't direct access to the data members. You need to choose at least the method called setter and getter to do it. Okay. Then what you need to change in here? C1 the radius in case I want to print up my radius. So what should I change it here? C1 top. Get lah. Using the get radius. Okay, get radius to return the answer. Alright. Okay, assessor mutator. Yeah, this one I mentioned. Assess refer to the get method. It normally return the data. Mutate refer to the set method. Normally no data returns. Okay. In a class diagram, same thing. When the underline means what? Underline means what? Statics. Okay. Then just now we have a public access modifier, default access modifier, and private access modifier, right? Public. Now in your UML notation here, the minus sign is means that private access modifier. Can get that? Minus means access modifier in here. You may try to refer back. Okay, refer back to the class given here. This is a private access, right? Private double radius. So when you draw the UML notation, you should use a minus sign. Okay, or the plus sign means that this is a public access modifier. Can get that? Public access modifier. Minus is a private, plus sign is a public. And we do have another one called protected. Okay, refer to the here. Once again, when you want to draw the UML notation, we know that private using minus sign. Okay, public plus sign. Okay, protected using hashtag. Okay, you need to know this one when you draw your assignment. When you have a protected access modifier using this one. If there is a default modifier using this tilted. In the keyboard, the first key, if you refer to your laptop or whatever, the first key, okay, the tilted here, this one, this symbol. Okay, this symbol. Okay, this is a default access modifier. Okay, right? Okay, so remember, minus sign, plus sign, hashtag, and also the tilted here. Okay. Okay, no other thing. This is a sample only. Okay, draw the circle, so no more. Okay, now come back to my one sample here. We still have some time. Okay, so look at this code. Assume now, let's say I would like to design a class called a product. Among all these data members, which one should I make it as a static? Which one should be instant variables? Name and quantity, these two is an instant. This one, I should declare as a static, right? So here you should do it as a static. Why? Service tags not referring to one product only. Okay, let's say you have 100 products, impossible, you're going to set one by one. So here, you should make it as a static variables. Okay, apply to all the products. Okay, next one, human. Which one is a static? The color, right? Anyone with different colors? No, red color, right? So you set the human blood color to red, then you apply to all the humans, unless it's an alien, different colors. Okay, then this blood group, can I make it as a static? No, I cannot. If you make it as a static, means that everyone has the same value. Okay, right? This one? Static, right? Anyone with 3 legs? Maybe. But in a normal case we call this is a static. When you set, let's say, this static, we put it as a static. Remember, the class is a definition for an object. When you say that this human is 2 legs, so when you see there is an object with 2 legs, normally we call it as a human. Okay, right? Okay, using 2 legs to walk. But of course, another animal may have a 2 legs also, but this is a definition for the humans. Okay, building. Anything you can make as a static here? Material? Why? Certain building is a concrete. Certain building is made by the wood, right? Okay, different material. So it shouldn't be any static here. Built up area, different object have a different size. Okay, different buildings. Number of windows cannot be, right? If you put in the static here, what does it mean? That all the building have the same windows. Okay, number of windows. So here, for the building, we do not have a static here, unless you say that this is what we call the tax. Every year you need to pay certain amount for building. What we call this? Government tax. Property tax, something like that. So you need to pay a certain amount. So the tax rate is a fixed, then you can make it as a static value there. Can get that? So clear this one. So in your assignment, remember discount rate you can make it as a static, service tax, government tax. Okay, make it as a static value. Alright. Okay, so finish this chapter. No more. For your proposal, you submit by this week. Anytime by this week. Friday. In my Google form, I mentioned Friday, right? Friday before 5 o'clock. If you finish early, you submit early.